the event, which will be held at the Newtown Playfield. During ZIZ Radio's program On the Road on Wednesday, Sergeant Sophia Henry from the Traffic Department explained how traffic will flow during the event.
Okay, traffic will flow in one direction. That's on Leonard Dickinson Street. That's this street by the Seventh-day Adventist School. It will flow from north to south. So no one will be able to come from Main Road and come up.
Right, off of Pond Road.
Yes, Pond Road, Fickbear Road, whichever one. Okay, traffic will also flow in one direction. And this is a street on the eastern side of the Playfield. If you're coming from across Manchester Avenue, it's the last street on your right. You turn down and then you take a left, which they call Park Street. It will only flow from one direction, which will be flowing from west to east. And when you come out of that same gate, you only can go south. Okay. Because it's a small street, and the persons who are doing vending and what's not in that area are going to use that entrance to get in. So when they come in, they will have to come back out and take a left down and come back around to get upon Manchester Avenue.
She also said there will be no parking permitted on Leonard Dickinson Street. Parking will only be permitted on the eastern side of the playfield, on the lawn, and the side where persons side their provisions. The role and impact of UNESCO will be the topic of discussion on the radio and television program Working for You later today. The special guest will be Project Coordinator of the Man and the Biosphere Project, Telka Wallace, Secretary General of the St. Kitts and Nevis for UNESCO, Dorothy Warner, and St. Kitts and Nevis's Ambassador to UNESCO, His Excellency Dr. David Doyle. Working for You is broadcast live every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. on ZIZ Radio and social media platforms, as well as the Facebook page and YouTube channel of the SKNIS. We now move to news on the regional scene. An incident in St. Lucia involving a minor who was hogtied has sparked outrage and demands for the perpetrators to be brought to justice. NBC Prime reports that police have identified the suspects involved in the incident.
What may have started as a prank on a 6-year-old boy has now become a police investigation. On April 22nd, NBC Prime exclusively reported on an ordeal that experts warn could result in serious mental trauma for a minor who was cornered, gagged, and hogtied by a group of people who live in the same neighborhood. According to neighborhood sources, the child's misbehavior was the alleged motive behind the incident.
I think there are time for jokes and there's a time to be serious. We were all 6, 8 years old, and we were mischievous. I think we would maybe pelt stones or hold stones, etc., to different places, and it maybe didn't hit our intended target, or we got in trouble, etc. And I think with the young man in that situation, there were better. I think as young adults, we must understand that there are better ways to handle such situations.
The incident was reported to police on April 21st. The Southern Attachment of the Police Force's Vulnerable Persons Team, NBC Prime can confirm, has zeroed in on the suspects involved. The Vulnerable Persons Team has also liaised with the Department of Human Services, who has looked into the welfare of the minor and is also investigating his domestic situation.
I just would like to urge young adults in situations like that, let us handle our conflicts better. When we do, when we participate in such activities like that, we incite violence, and it's just mentally disturbing for the young person.
The incident has elicited widespread condemnation and demands for the perpetrators to be brought to justice. Police sources have confirmed to NBC Prime an arrest in relation to the matter is imminent. Rihani Ezudo, NBC Prime.
The government in Trinidad and Tobago says it will continue to work towards ensuring that the rights and safety of journalists are protected. The assurance came from the Minister of Communications on World Press Freedom Day. And for the entire month of May, the Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago will remember and honor journalists. Mahalia Joseph Wharton reports.
The theme for this year's World Press Freedom Day is Journalism Under Digital Siege. According to Unesco, May 3rd acts as a reminder to governments of the need to respect their commitment to press freedom, and it's also a day of reflection among media professionals about issues of press freedom and professional ethics. President of the Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Ira Matur, said the country's democracy depends on a strong media.
And the good news is, in 2021, TNT's World Press Freedom Index, compiled by Reporters Without Borders, shot up 5 places to 31st out of 180 countries, and that was amid a pandemic.
She said for World Press Freedom Day, countries all over the world remember journalists who've lost their lives while pursuing the job that they love. But here at home, Matt wants to remember and celebrate media stalwarts who are still with us and those who would have died quietly after a lifetime of service.
The journalists that have died and who have given their lives and continue to give their lives and live in poor circumstances have been integral to preserving our democracy and our freedom of speech as we know it. And we, this executive MAT, want to recognize that. So in this context, the MAT, in the coming weeks and months, will honor stalwart journalists and media workers, past and present, those who are no longer with us and those who are with us.
Among the media stalwarts to be profiled and honored are Sir Trevor MacDonald, Wesley Gibbings, Andy Johnson, Dominic Kalipasad, Sharon Pitt, and Judy Raymond. Also weighing in on the importance of World Press Freedom Day was Minister of Communications Simon de Nobrega. He assured that government will do its part to keep a free press.
This government is committed and will continue to work towards ensuring that, and through legislation and whatever means we have at our disposal, to ensure that the rights and the safety of journalists are maintained, and that we continue our proud history of being a democratic society that acknowledges freedom of expression and the right of a free and fair press.
The minister said his ministry is also committed to working with stakeholders in the industry. UNESCO said World Press Freedom Day is a day to encourage and develop initiatives in favor of press freedom and to assess the state of press freedom worldwide. Mahalia Joseph Wharton, TTT News.
Internationally, civilians taken to Ukrainian-controlled Zaporizhia have been telling of life in the bunkers of a large Mariupol steelworks as it came under Russian assault. Some had been there for 2 months without sunlight. More in this report.
Russian troops have intensified their offensive against the Azovstal steel plant, the Ukrainian resistance last stronghold in the devastated city of Mariupol. This after the first evacuation of civilians was completed. According to the UN, 159 displaced people have arrived in Zaporizhia, 101 of them from Azovstal and 58 who joined the convoy from the outskirts of Mariupol. It is believed that around 200 civilians are still trapped in the tunnels and bunkers of the plant.
It was scary because they were constantly shelling us, and during the daytime and night. The kids did not sleep. They were crying. They did not stop shelling. It was very scary. Frankly, we thought we would not get out of there.
It was successful. I am, however, worried that not all of the civilians are out. The steel plant is very big. It was very difficult for those who came out to come out, and I think some of them were very afraid.
According to Ukrainian officials, the Russian army has multiplied its attacks. 21 people are believed to have died in Donetsk. Strikes also took place in Lviv, near the Polish border, where 2 people were wounded after various power stations were targeted.
The strikes targeted 3 substations. As a result, there are interruptions to electricity supplies. 2 people were injured. They are receiving medical help.
Ukrainian authorities have also informed of attacks against a facility in Transcarpathia and at least half a dozen railway stations around the country.
And now for the weather. Current conditions are partly cloudy with slight dust haze. The temperature for today is 28 degrees Celsius or 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are a moderate breeze of 14 miles per hour from the northeast. Seas are moderate with waves of 4 to 5 feet. The weather forecast in St. Kitts and Nevis for today and tonight will be partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Sunset today will be at 6:32 p.m., sunrise tomorrow at 5:43 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jason Davis.